Good afternoon. How's everyone? Hopefully well. Good. I have an interesting concept today. Developing the both and mindset. You might say, okay, what is that? Both and mindset. Okay, it says, often during a conversation, people will identify two distinctly different courses of action. It says that may at first seem to be in opposition. The question is basically formatted as an either-or question. And it says, should I do A or should I do B? And suppose you ask that of a person and then they say, yes, do both. You might be confused, right? It says, then we can explain that the answer lies not in one or the other of the alternatives, but in exploring and doing both. It says, this is what is called both and thinking. Collins and Porras, in their book Built to Last, call it avoiding the tyranny of the or and embracing the genius of and. It says either or thinking is pervasive or widespread in our world. It says, let's take the example of the common phrase black or white. It says when we think of black or white, we often try to balance by looking for the shades of gray, thinking that in balance or compromise we will find the right solution. But it says this is seldom the most valuable approach. A good suggestion is to consider black and white. It says that either or solution inevitably leads to suboptimal solutions. And it says, and undersatisfying compromises. Balance is not found in some murky middle ground, but rather by dedicating our focus to both ends of the spectrum. So don't say black or white, say black and white. Then it says we can take this concept beyond the philosophical and find specific ways to use both and thinking in all parts of our lives. It says below is a list of 10 both and combinations that will make you a better leader of yourself and others. So the first one is strengths and weaknesses. It says when we receive feedback, we typically focus on our weaknesses and work to improve in those areas, right? Yeah. It says this is fine, but if all of our effort is focused here and none is focused on valuing and strengthening our strengths, it says then we are not investing our time and effort in the most effective way. It says, are there weaknesses to improve? Yes, always. But think too of our strengths and let's build those as well, right? Because we do have strengths, yes. So that was one, strengths and weaknesses. The next one is timeless and new. It says new ideas are seductive. We must be mindful of and willing to move forward with new ideas, always, right? But we can't focus on the new without a bedrock of timeless principles to guide us. It says history does repeat itself. So when we find the timeless principles in the new ideas, we will gain even greater clarity and create greater progress. So don't just look on the new, right? Always include the old, right? Especially if it's already repeated itself and you realize that, hey, this is the good foundation, right? Yes. Okay. The next one is expert and novice. Have a problem to solve? Consider having an expert help you think through. It says consider also bringing someone in with no prior knowledge or preconceived ideas about the situation. Expert and novice. It says both bring value to problem-solving challenge or innovation opportunity. Now I found that to be very true, because sometimes the best ideas or advice I've gotten from my children who were novices on a particular subject, but they had this new thinking, right, that helped solve the situation. So don't always consider an expert, sometimes also consider a novice, okay? The next one is inform and listen. It says great communicators do more than inform. It says they also listen. Great communicators are not great because they can do one or the other. It says they are exceptionally well at doing both, right? Yes, good communicator listens and they can communicate very well. So it's not either or. Don't just inform and not listen, or listen, but do both, inform and listen. Okay, Okay, the next one is demanding and supportive. As a leader of ourselves and of others, we need to be demanding and tough because clear expectations are important and motivating. Very true. It says results are needed. However, it says if we drive for the results without supporting people and their feelings, ultimately people won't reach their true potential. That is so true, right? We can demand, but then if we're not supportive, it's not going to work. Okay. It says to succeed at the highest levels, we must have a target in mind, a vision, and a goal. Oh, this is the next one. Sorry, I didn't read that one. Goals and serendipity. And I had to look up serendipity to make sure I had the right definition. Serendipity is making fortunate discoveries by accident. Okay, so goals and serendipity. It says to succeed at the highest levels, we must have a target in mind, a vision, and a goal. And we know that, right? It says the most successful people have clear goals and continue to listen for the knock of opportunity. They value the serendipitous moment and meeting and recognize that in those moments their goals might be adjusted, reprioritized, or otherwise changed. It says simply leaving our lives to serendipity or accidental happenings, it says, will not create the greatest results. Conversely, remaining rigidly goal-focused, and you don't want to have anything else interfere, may preclude us from seeing many great opportunities. So, be goal-focused, yes, but also be open to serendipity. In other words, accidental things that may happen. That'll help, right? Okay. The next one is task and process. The work must be done. The task is important. We realize that. However, it says, thinking of the process, the flow, and how the work is done is equally important. It says if we solely focus on getting out the work, we'll miss opportunities to improve the process and make it easier, more productive, and more enjoyable. It says, on the other hand, if we spend all our time planning the process, we will never get results. So maintain both a task and process focus. So the work has to get done, yes, but the process also is important, right? And it make things a lot easier and everybody be more enjoyable doing it, right? Okay. The next one, strategy and tactics. It says we must plan. Strategy is important, we know that, but we also must take action. It says tactics are imperative. The most successful people and leaders value strategy in the context of actionable tactics that move them towards those strategic ideals. So we can have a good strategy, but if we don't have an action plan to move forward, we don't have a maneuver to move forward, it's not going to work, right? Okay, so strategy and tactics, not strategy or tactic. Okay, the next one is customer focus and employee focus. It says some organizations feel that the customer is always right. Yeah, we heard that one. And all work should be done in service for the customer. Others feel that if they treat their employees right, the customer will ultimately be satisfied. It says these are not diametrically opposed ideas, no? It says clearly customers and employees are the two most valuable assets any business holds. So focus on them both, not customer or employee, but customer and employee. All right. Individual and team. Individual talent, performance, and productivity are critical. Yes, we know that. However, individual success cannot trump synergistic collaboration. It says work on building individual skills and empower, educate, and support teams as well. And I guess if you're a sports fan, you know that. Just to be so true, right? You got to work as a team. But the individual is important, but so is the team. So it's not either or, it's and. Okay. Then it says we could add many more to the list, but hopefully it says we already see the wisdom of both and thinking. It says chances are if you begin to value and create this mindset for yourself, you will find more and more of these combinations that you can apply. I'm sure we can, right? Now that we can pay attention to it when we run across it, right? It says the both and mindset will help you become more successful and paradoxically create greater clarity and balance in your life. So take the time to think about and nurture this mindset today. Think not either or, but and. Okay. So I thought that was good. It was a good analogy for me, and to realize that it's not always one or the other. Why can't it just be both that you can work on, right? Okay. All right. Well, I hope you have a great day today. We had a storm here today. I mean, I went to the store and then all of a sudden it started storming. It's still windy outside. But other than that, the sun is coming out now. So I'm thinking it's going to be a good rest of the day. So I hope you have a good rest of the day. And then I'll see you on Friday. Okay. Take care. And thanks so much for watching. All right.